Host, good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about one of the most important moments in Christian history, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. This is an event that is of great importance to millions of believers around the world. So, let's begin our journey into the past.
Jesus Christ lived in the 1st century in Palestine, a Roman province. His preaching about love, mercy, and the kingdom of God attracted the attention of many people, but also caused concern among the religious and political elite. The Sanhedrin, the religious council of Jewish elders, considered Jesus a threat to their power and influence. They decided that he had to be stopped. After the Last Supper with his disciples, Jesus went to pray on the Mount of Olives. There he was arrested by Roman soldiers for betraying Judas. On the Mount of Olives in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus prayed on the eve of his arrest and crucifixion. His prayer was full of deep sorrow and anxiety, reflecting human feelings and divine mission. Here are the highlights of what Jesus prayed for. Prayer for avoiding the cup of suffering. My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, not as I will, but as you will. Matthew 26:39. Jesus prayed to avoid future suffering and death if possible. However, he emphasized that he was ready to submit to the Father's will. Prayer for God's will. My Father, if this cup cannot pass away, that I may not drink it, your will be done. Matthew 26:42. Jesus was expressing his willingness to accept God's will, even if it meant accepting suffering and death. Prayer for the strengthening of the disciples. Jesus prayed that the disciples would resist temptation and remain faithful. He said, "Watch and pray that you do not fall into temptation, for the spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak." Matthew 26:41. Jesus called the disciples to pray and be vigilant so that they could withstand the trials that were coming. Prayer for unity and protection of the disciples. In John 17:9-11, Jesus prays, "I pray for them. I do not pray for the world, but for those whom you have given me, for they are yours, and all that is mine is yours, and yours is mine, and I am glorified in them. And I am no longer in the world, but they are in the world, and I am coming to you. Holy Father, keep them in your name, that they may be one, even as we are." Jesus prayed for the unity of his disciples and their protection from evil.